West 91.7.
RMA, it's 9 o'clock. The news presented by Ayrece. Stewart. Good morning, Ayrece.
Good morning, Sophie.
We start with the headlines.
Ayrece Rajoelina assumes SADC presidency at 45th summit held in Madagascar. Mauritius Meteorological Service advises that heavy swell warning to remain in force until Wednesday. New allegations in reward money case against SP Ashik Jagai. Thousands of primary school pupils returned to class this morning for the final school term. Mauritius marks 140 years since the birth of Emmanuel Anquetil. In world news, Air Canada flight attendants defy return to work order. And in sports, Arsenal edge Manchester United in Premier League opener. Madagascar's President Ayrece Rajoelina has officially taken over the presidency of the Southern African Development Community, the SADC, as from yesterday. He succeeds Zimbabwe's President Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa at the close of the 45th Summit of Heads of State and Government. Mauritius was represented by Prime Minister Dr. Navin Ramgoolam, who addressed the summit before giving a statement to Abdel Boulaki on site. The Prime Minister thanked SADC members for standing by Mauritius in its sovereignty claim over the Chagos archipelago, but he also placed another important issue on the table. He called on SADC leaders to exempt Mauritius from paying $7 million, a commitment undertaken by the former government, but which Mauritius does not currently have the means to honour. A heavy swell warning remains in force for Mauritius until 10 a.m. on Wednesday, August 20. The Meteorological Service explains that clouds associated with the remnants of a frontal system from the southwest are currently influencing local weather and will soon be followed by a strong anticyclone. For the next 24 hours, the forecast is for rather cloudy skies with intermittent showers, especially over the south and central plateau. Winds are expected to be light and variable in the early morning, shifting to the southeast at about 25 kilometers, with gusts of up to 50 kilometers during the day. The open sea will be very rough with swells of around 4 meters. Waves may break along low-lying coastal areas in the west and south. Authorities strongly advise fishermen, pleasure craft users, and the public not to go out to sea and not to venture along those beaches during high tide. There are new developments in the reward money case involving Police Superintendent Ashik Jagai. The former head of the Special Striking Team will once again face questioning by the Financial Crimes Commission this Monday as investigators dig deeper into suspicious disbursements of police reward money. Since his court appearance last Thursday, Jagai remains in detention at the Mocha Detention Center. On Sunday, he had to be taken briefly to a doctor for stomach pains before being returned to his cell. The FCC will now confront him with further evidence among the cases under review. The seizure of 22 million rolling papers in October 2022 at Plaisance Air Transport Services, valued at an estimated 700 million rupees. Of the 7 million rupees that had been allocated to reward the informant, only 1 million was actually paid. According to the FCC, other questionable transactions, many yet uncovered as SP Jagai's interrogation continues in the coming days. And after 4 weeks of holidays, thousands of primary school pupils returned to their classrooms this morning to begin the third and final term of the academic year. It's a crucial stage in the school calendar, one that focuses heavily on consolidating the fundamentals and preparing pupils for the year ahead. And in other news, Mauritius today commemorates the 140th anniversary of the birth of Emmanuel Anquetil, a towering figure in the history of the country's labour movement and co-founder of the Labour Party. Anquetil is remembered for his unwavering fight in defence of workers' rights and his broader struggle for a fairer society. Nearly 8 decades after his passing, his legacy continues to inspire trade unionists, politicians and Mauritians at large. And moving international, the union representing 10,000 striking Air Canada flight attendants said Sunday it will defy an order to return to work and continue a strike that has stranded more than 100,000 travellers around the world during the peak summer travel season. The Canada Industrial Relations Board ordered airline staff back to work by 2 p.m. Sunday after the government intervened and Air Canada said it planned to resume flights on Sunday evening. The country's largest airline said early Sunday in a release that the first flights will resume later in the day, but that it will take several days before its operations return to normal. It said some flights will be cancelled over the next 7 to 10 days until the schedule is stabilized. And finally in sports, in the first big clash of the Premier League season, Arsenal secured a 1-0 victory away at Manchester United. From a corner taken by Rice, Calafiori scored the only goal of the match with a close-range header at the far post in the 13th minute. The Red Devils had chances to equalise. Dogu struck the post while Gunners goalkeeper David Raya made several saves to preserve the win. Without being dazzling, Mikel Arteta's side earned a valuable victory to start their season. For United and their manager Ruben Amorim, however, it's a tough beginning. That's all from me this morning. Thanks so much for tuning in. Stay tuned now to the Intermeet playlist until 10 a.m.